So this is asking questions. Does the prospect truly need what you have to sell? You could end up in very productive conversations with a prospect, and they might seem extremely interested, and you're selling it, providing a demonstration, and they love your product. But do they need what you sell, or do they want what you sell? So if you sold cars, you could have someone come in the showroom and they love the car that you have, and they ask you to take them out on a test drive, and they love the new car. But if you were to ask them a question of, what are you driving today? Let's say that the car they drive today is only 6 to 12 months old. They could love the car that you're showing them, but when you find out that the car they drive is only 6 to 12 months old, what does that tell you? That tells you that they most likely want what you sell, but they don't need it. I mean, they might end up trading in their car and buying your car, but in most cases, the car they have is working properly. So they don't genuinely need what you sell. Not to say you can't sell to them, and not to say that they don't end up buying from you, but this can help you to identify where they are in the scale of needing versus wanting. Now, let's look at another extreme. Let's say that someone's test driving your car. You ask them about the car they drive today, and it's actually breaking down. And when it breaks down, they can't get to work, and they're in jeopardy of losing their job because of their car breaking down. Now, this person genuinely needs what you sell. And that's important data, because that can help you to justify spending your valuable time with that prospect. Now, let me give you some examples of some need to purchase questions. By the way, we have those two building blocks of pain questions and current state questions to use to create our scripts. We can use those to create our cold call scripts and our meeting scripts. These four areas give us four other building blocks that we can use to create our meeting scripts and our appointment scripts. And so these create four other building blocks. Now let's look at each of these building blocks one at a time. So the need to purchase building block, let's talk about some questions to give you some ideas there. So what motivated you to look at us today, or what brought you to us today? So this is a good question with an inbound lead. Let's just say you work at a store and someone comes into your store. Let's just say you sell refrigerators at an electronics store, and you're showing a particular model to someone. You're talking about all the features. A great question to ask would be, what motivated you to look at us today? You might get an answer of, well, our refrigerators, it's not working properly, or it's getting old. Or you might get an answer of, oh, really, I'm waiting for, my friend who's in the store next door, and they're just killing time. So this is a very good question. If we convert that to B2B selling, let's say you get an inbound lead and someone asks for a demo. Instead of just, saying, oh, sure, and then doing a 1 hour demonstration of your product, you could ask them, what motivated you to contact us and ask for a demo? You might get very valuable information there. Do you mind if I ask why you took time out of your schedule to meet with us? This is a great question to ask, whether it's an inbound lead or an appointment set with a cold call. A lot of times you might set a meeting with an executive, and they take your meeting, and you might assume you know why they took your meeting. But a great question to ask in the beginning of the meeting is, hey, listen, I know why I like meeting with CFOs and why it's worth my time to meet with you. Could I ask you real quick, I know you're busy. Why did you take time out of your busy schedule to meet with me? This could give you very valuable information that you might not already know. They may say, well, our system is expiring at the end of the year, so we're just in the early stages of figuring out what to do. Or they may tell you, hey, listen, the person that set the appointment, they wouldn't let me get off the phone, so I said I'd meet with you. Well, while that's not great news, that's very valuable information. What improvements could you see from if you make this purchase? You might know what improvements that your product or service can make for them, but get them to tell you in their own words. What will happen if you don't purchase something? This is a great question. A prospect may say, oh, your demonstration's great. Oh, I love it. Well, what happens if you don't purchase something? Now, this is a good question, because let's say that they have a system in place and it's working okay. Well, if it's working okay, they may love your product, but if they don't purchase your product, if things are okay, that's good information, because what that means is that you may progress the deal through the sales process, get meetings and have great discussions, present your proposal, and they may love your pricing. But at the 11th hour, the deal may stall out and the prospect goes silent on you. And the reason why is because they don't genuinely need what you sell. And they don't need what you sell because nothing major happens if they don't purchase anything. And if nothing major happens, then it's hard to justify spending money on what you sell. Now, the other extreme frame to that is that what happens if you don't purchase something? Well, if we don't purchase something, our current system will not be supported. And then if there's a system failure, we could lose millions of dollars because we don't have someone to fix our system. So, the answer there is very valuable. Is there a date when this purchase needs to be made by? Maybe the date needs to be made by this particular time, or there's a big problem. Or if the prospect says, not really, the sooner the better, but we could keep using our current system for another year. Oh, well, it is what it is if that's the answer, but it's important for you to know if that's the answer. What happens if this purchase isn't made by that date? What is the time frame that the project needs to work along? So all of these are examples of questions that help you to determine, does the prospect need or want what you sell?